The world of Pokemon. Over the past 20 years, we have seen 7 unique regions that have inspired by real-world locations. The regions of Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh are all based off of Japan. The Kalos region is based off of France. And the Unova and now Alola regions are based off the United States. There are still many places in the real world Game Freak could choose as a location to draw inspiration from, and that is the goal of this series. To pick a part of the real world and reimagine it as if it were a Pokemon region. And in this episode, as suggested by the Bug Catchers of Kanto, we will be exploring and reimagining Tasmania as a Pokemon region. In the last season, we explored both Australia and New Zealand. And now it's time to finish this mini trilogy by delving into the untamed lands of Tasmania. Tasmania is a truly beautiful land like its larger brothers. Though, Tasmania's land is more exotic and strange compared to Australia and New Zealand. This can be seen best in the jagged coastline on the island. Its beauty is unexplainable, but it continues past that when we go further inland to the rolling grassy fields filled with shades of green. It all reaches up to Mount Olympus, though the Greek gods don't call this one home, but that doesn't take away from the majesty of this titanic mountain. We have the features of the region, but what would it actually look like if it were a Pokemon region? Well, as the Bug Catchers of Kanto suggested, here's a look at what the layout of a region would be. The starting town is the inverted green triangle, while the towns are blue ovals and the cities are red rectangles. The Pokemon League is obviously the gold star. The cities are actually in spots corresponding to actual cities in Tasmania. The towns are also in or as near as possible to real towns on the island. Since it is a smaller region, it would have fewer towns than cities. 10 to be exact, 11 if you want to count the league as a city. But imagining Tasmania as a region, this is what I picture. But there is more than amazing features and locations to a Pokemon region. There are of course the namesake of the game, Pokemon, to fill the region. I have picked 3 animals, and no, there is no Tasmanian devil, I apologize. I had to pick 3 lesser known and very unique animals of Tasmania to show what this beautiful location would have to offer in terms of Pokemon. And we'll start this off with what could very well be the fossil Pokemon for this region, the Tasmanian tiger. This beast is neither cat nor dog, but it is a marsupial. It is believed to have gone extinct in the last century, but there are rumors that it could still be alive in very remote locations. Since it would be a fossil mon of the region, it would of course be a rock type, but for some reason I see this being a fire type as well, and it would work really well for what it's based off of. So this could be our very first fire type fossil Pokemon. Like all fossil Pokemon, it wouldn't be perfect, but it would excel in attack and have an average speed. Next up is a very unique fish, the spotted handfish. It is a strange species of anglerfish that is only found in the waters around Australia. It is critically endangered and one of those animals that would translate into being a Pokemon with ease. Typing this fish was hard though. Water would be the first thing given to it, and I have to give it the ground typing as well, since this fish is known for walking on the ocean floor instead of swimming. So being a ground type would be fitting of it. Water and ground is a great typing as it is, and it would go along the path as other water and ground type Pokemon. Bulky defenses with average attack with terrible speed. Something that with the proper IV spread would be very dangerous to go against. And last we have the Quall, a cousin of the Tasmanian devil. I originally saw this as a starter of the region, the grass type starter actually, and for the secondary typing, once it fully evolved, it would be a grass and electric type. There is just something about this little marsupial that just reminds me of a Pikachu clone, but since I'm not a fan of those, I made it a starter instead. Since it is grass and electric, it would have extremely high special attack and special defense. And taking its design into consideration, it would be very speedy too. To compensate for those great stats, its attack and defense would be terrible. It would strike hard with both grass and electric attacks, and it would be a great nightmare for water types. Now that we have Pokemon to fill the region, we need a powerful legendary to show the power this region can hold. I searched hard for a mythical being that could represent Tasmania, but the folklore of the native people was not clear enough to understand. So I had to go deep into the ocean to find a creature that would be our legendary Pokemon. This is the Pyrosome, a giant living colony of zooids. While a single zooid is nearly microscopic, thousands and thousands come together to form these large glowing serpents in the warm waters. In Pokemon form, it would be a pure water type. I know that is not interesting for a legendary, but it would have an ability to make up for it. To correspond to what it is, for every attack that hits it, it would grow larger. Think of it as absorbing the attack. As it grows, its defenses would rise, and depending on the type of attack it was hit with, its attack would rise corresponding to the attack it was just hit by. So when this monster is nearing being knocked out, it would be at its most dangerous. I think it would be a legendary fitting for a strange and beautiful land of Tasmania. Tasmania, an island as strange as it is beautiful. It would most definitely make for an interesting Pokemon region from its craggy coast to its unique animal life. Tasmania has more than what it takes to make a perfect Pokemon region. The series may be back, but the series still relies on you for it to go on. Please suggest new locations from around the world, and if I didn't do them in the last season, or I haven't done them yet, I'll do them and give you a shout out as thanks for helping the series go on. This is not a weekly series anymore, though if there are suggestions, they'll be done as soon as possible. With Pokemon Sun and Moon coming soon, this series may disappear for a little bit, but it will be back. If you enjoyed this location and video, leave a like and share this video around. It helps me grow the channel and I really appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter for updates on anything and everything Pokemon, as well as know when all my videos go live. The link to my Twitter is down in the description of all my videos. And as always, this has been your guide to the world, Black Phoenix. Thanks for watching, everyone.